What's going on, everybody? This is Form, and this is Formcast. I'm going to talk about something I did for the first time this weekend. Happy Thanksgiving to those in Canada, like myself. You're going to be hearing this on a Wednesday. Today's Tuesday. Thanksgiving was yesterday, but happy Thanksgiving anyways. And yes, for those people in the U.S. states of A, well, yes, we have Canadian Thanksgiving mid-October rather than end of November like you guys do down there. With that being said, thanks for listening. I went hunting for the first time this weekend. Yes, that's right. I decided to join my family who goes hunting. We were hunting moose, bull moose, in fact. And if you don't know what a bull moose is, it's a male moose. And if you don't know what that even means, well, it's got a large rack on the top of its head called antlers. Yes, female moose don't have this. Little baby moose don't have this. But giant male moose have giant racks. We were hunting moose this weekend. I went for a couple days, Friday till Monday. Yesterday I came back. Did not get a moose myself. We saw one yesterday, the tip of one over a hill crest. Before we could kind of corner it in, we lost it. Sad moment. However, the family is still out there hunting. Hunting season is approximately 5 weeks long here, from mid-October till mid-November for rifle season. And some of the family was hunting beforehand by bow. You can hunt with a bow, not a crossbow, but a bow and arrow, compound bow, most likely. With that being said, I went hunting, and it was quite the experience, let me tell you that. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, thanks for that. I appreciate that. Don't mind the hair. The hair looks like I just woke up. Well, I just showered, for your beautiful information. And yes, I smell beautiful. With that being said, I went hunting for the first time, yes, and what it meant was getting up at approximately 5:30, 5:45 in the morning. It was cold, and by cold, I mean in Celsius anyways, approximately like -1, -2 in the morning. And that's cold when you're not used to it, especially when there's no sunlight. Yeah, exactly. And one of the days it was raining, so yeah, put that into perspective, please. So you layer up as much as you can, and you get your snack all packed up, and you go hunting. What does that mean? In the darkness, you go to your spot that you're going to be sitting at and wanting to cover. You have to be insanely quiet. You have to be slow. You can't move much. And when you get to your spot, you don't move at all, really. You look with binoculars through the trees. You look over here, look over there, hear this, hear that. Crick, crack. Maybe it's a moose. Maybe it's a squirrel. Maybe it's leaves just falling from the trees. Yeah, it was cold, but it was quite the experience. Got to walk through the bush, got to see the wonderful amounts of tracks of fresh doo-doo. I guess that's the way I want to say it. Fresh moose doo-doo, which looks like, if you haven't seen it, just like chocolate balls, pretty much. And when it's really fresh, it glistens in the daylight. It's warm, and it's probably still warm if it's really that fresh. With that being said, no moose was seen by us fully enough to shoot one just yet. But every single day, waking up, we would go hunting from approximately 6:30 by the time you kind of get going out there till about 11 o'clock. Come back to the camp for lunch, rest up a little bit, and we'd be back out there by 4 p.m. latest till about 7:30. Now, here in Canada and Ontario, anyways, you can only hunt half an hour after sunset, before sunset, or sunrise. Either way, it's pretty much 7 o'clock till 7 o'clock at this time of the year. So you can't just be out there in the middle of the night. You can't just be out there at 9 o'clock when they're all coming out of their bush and, going through the cameras that you have set up and all this stuff. You got to catch them at the right time within hunting regulations and laws. Otherwise, you get in very, very big trouble. There was actually game wardens that came out the first day as well to see and check in on everyone's hunting licenses and how many tags you had. By tag, I mean you can only hunt for what you are given the right to hunt for. For example, this year we only had a bull tag, so we can't hunt for female moose. We can't hunt for baby moose. You can only hunt for the male moose. Now, some other people might have different tags depending on how they got them and whatnot, how long they've been waiting and what they applied for, but at the end of the day, that's what we had. So I'm hoping that the family this week gives us a call, gives us a message, and says, hey, come on by and clean that moose you missed, because we got him. And if you're not a hunter, it's okay, but my family hunts for the purpose of feeding their family, not for sport. Don't go out there just trying to push them around, hunt them around. This is their territory. And let me tell you, Got to one spot in a swamp where there was a bed, there was a rut pit, and if you don't know what a rut pit means, is that's where they do their dirty business, and it's very dirty. There were tons of trails, tons of tracks, fresh tracks, and I felt like I was in moose territory where I was not supposed to be there. Like I was supposed to be somewhere else, a lot safer, because I swear to God, I mean, moose are herbivores. They eat, branches and grass and seed and all that kind of stuff. They don't eat meat. They usually don't eat people. But man, these things are giant. We saw some on the cam on Sunday evening. So Monday we went out and we had seen them night before on the trail cams, which they had been very, very docile, very quiet, very still over the weekend. There was a lot of hunters out there. It's a long weekend, first couple days of opening for hunting season. And I think that's why they stayed still for so long. But they started moving around, and the ones we saw in the camp, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, the back of the camel, or the back of that hump, the back of that moose, I'm telling you, it's got to be like 6.5 feet tall, 7 feet to the back of it. So just to give you a perspective of how big these animals actually are. So it could feed a lot of family members, that's for sure. But anyways, we went out, Saturday morning, Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday night, Monday morning. I came back Monday afternoon. I mean, life does go on. I can't take all that time off work, but it was an experience, that's for sure. Got to do things that I've never done before. Got to see things I've never seen before. Got to smell things I've never smelled before. And we also got a couple partridge, and I, for the very first time, saw how you clean a partridge. Boy, oh boy, is that wild. I'm not going to save you it. I'm going to tell you it. You get a partridge, you put its back on the ground, you put your foot on one wing, you spread out the one wing, you step on it, you take the other wing, you step on it close to the body, and you grab its legs, and you just pull up. Before you know it, all the guts and the feet and everything all come apart, and then you clean up a few other things, and you got these nice little breasts that taste like chicken. Literally taste like chicken. If you've never had partridge, I suggest it. So I think next year I might try and just do some partridge, because my moose hunting skills are not that great. I was more excited to eat my snacks I brought with me than to look through the binoculars again while freezing myself off. Well, at the end of the day, the moose won. For now. So if you haven't done something that you've been wanting to do, I suggest you go try it. It gave me perspective. It gave me actual gratefulness for those who do hunt and provide for their family, because it's a lot of work and it is exhausting. I could sleep right now. I could sleep for a week. But at the end of the day, it really opened my eyes as to how some people survive out there, because there's not a lot of people who want to go buy food from the grocery stores. We all know how the cows and all that kind of stuff, get on the shelf. So this is a lot more of a humane way, even if some may not agree with it, to put food on the table for your family. And it's delicious. If you've never had moose, I suggest you try it. Moose burgers, moose steak, moose sausage, ground moose. Moose stew. Possibilities are endless. With that being said, I'm going to go dream about my moose. I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for listening and downloading the podcast episodes. More to come, as always, every week, Wednesday, 9 a.m. Eastern. That's when they go live. Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube. And as always, well, we'll catch you next time. Cheers.